I'm so excited. We're starting September and it's a new theme. Are you guys ready? We're gonna do block party and it's gonna be fun. When you think of block party, what do you think about? You think about friendship because you invite your friends to come with you. So I'm very excited. We're starting a new season, a new theme, block party. Are you guys ready? Let's go have some fun.
Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Paul, and I'm so glad that you're joining us here at our at-home Chapel Hill Kids Time. You picked a great week to join us because it's the start of a new month, this month of September. And you know what that means? When we start a new month, we start a new theme. That's right. So our theme is block party. We're having a block party. We've got this background of a block party scene. It's when you hang out with all the people that maybe you live with in your neighborhood or your apartment building. And the theme here is like everyone's invited. And that's a bit like God's kingdom. He wants everybody to be invited. And what a great way to show friendship by having a block party all month of September. So we want to throw this block party so that you can build strong friendships. That's what we're hoping this whole month. And friendships that don't just last for a minute or two or a week, friendships that last a lifetime. We want to say all month long this. Say it with me. Friendship is using your words and actions to show others that you care about them. One of my favorite things I love to do with friends is play games with them. You know, I love to play basketball, and it's kind of cool to do it on your own, but it's better with your friends. And so I bet Pam has a fun game that we can play today together. So actually just really pay attention. She's got some great instructions for this game. Let's see what she's got for us today. What do you have for us, Miss Pam?
What is going on, party people? I am so glad you're here at Chapel Hill Kids for our block party. A block party is the kind of get together you have with people that live in your neighborhood or apartment building. You can play games and dance to the music, and you can invite others to join in on the fun. Honestly, it's a great way to show friendship. Friendship is using your words and actions to show others you care. Everyone wants to be a good friend, but sometimes we might not be the best at showing it. Sometimes we might have to stop and really think about putting others before ourselves. God can help us choose to be good friends to others, and He can help us choose to surround ourselves with friends who will help us to grow closer to Him. Sometimes we choose our friends because we have things in common with them. Today's game helps us to know what we have in common with those around us. For some of you, that might just be your family, or maybe some of you are worshiping with some friends, so this will be fun. Okay, so I'm gonna call out a description. Like, for instance, I like pineapple on pizza. If that's you, you'll stand up where you are. If it's me, I'll raise my hand so you can know, okay? Take note of those around you. You might find you have some fun things in common. Okay, ready? Let's go. I have a baby brother. How about I have a cat? I have two. I am left-handed. I have blue eyes. Ooh, that's me. I dislike chocolate. I love to read. Again. I have a dog. I love to draw. I like broccoli. And I love the beach. That's me again. Great job, everyone. I wish I could see you in person so that I would know exactly what I have in common with you, but at least you know what you have in common with me and with each other in the room. I'm sure you can think of all kinds of things you have in common with each of your friends, likely the reason why you chose to be friends in the first place. In today's story, we'll find out something really important about choosing your friends correctly. What is it? Well, you'll see after you choose a good spot to worship. Here comes Mr. Paul.
Hey everybody, wow, it's so good to have you with us. Did you know that when you look in the mirror, that you are looking at God's creation? You and I are His finest creation of all. Every one of us is made in His image as well. And so that's really exciting. So Put a smile on your face and let's celebrate who God is and who He made us to be. I hope you sing this worship song to God. So let's do this. Let's get up and sing this together.
These hands, these feet, these eyes that seek to find their hope in you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. This heart that beats, this mouth that speaks more and more like you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. These hands, these feet, these eyes that seek to find their hope in you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. This heart that beats, this mouth that speaks more and more like you. I'm made in your image. I'm made in your image. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. 'Cause you are the potter and I am the clay. You're molding me, shaping me every day. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. In your image I am made. You made me special. You made me precious. You made me wonderful. You made me special. You made me precious. You made me wonderful. In your image I am made. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made. Oh, in your image I am made. In your image I am made. I'm trusting in the Lord on the day-to-day, picking up strength all along the way. And you know what you're doing in me. In your image I am made.
Well, I hope you know that each of us is made in the image of God. And I love singing with you and singing that to Him. But before we continue in worship, I want you to watch this. It's a great lesson for us.
How do you build a friendship? Some people think it's all about climbing the ladder of popularity or gathering the biggest number of followers on social media. Others believe it means throwing a birthday party at the best place so everyone will want to come, or even laughing along when someone makes a mean joke so that you can fit with the in crowd. But none of those things can promise you real friendship. Building true friendships is not about being in, it's about being the in for others. It's showing someone that you care about them, and not just yourself. It's a smile and an encouraging word when someone in your class is having a bad day. It's making a spot at your lunch table for the kid who doesn't have a place to sit. It's inviting a new kid to your birthday party, even if it's just in the backyard. It's taking time to make your own get well card for the kid in your small group who broke his leg. When you choose to be a friend, you create a safe, welcoming place for others. You'll discover you're building true friendships, and others will see God at work in your life. That's why friendship is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
Oh, good job listening, you guys. Let's read together the words of Jesus now. The words of Jesus are important. They're kind of red letter words that are in the Bible. And so John 15:15 says this. Let's read it together, all together now. I do not call you servants any longer. Well, because servants do not know what their master is doing. Instead, I call you friends because I have told you everything I heard from my Father. Did you just read and hear what Jesus calls us? What does he call us? He calls us friends. You are a friend of God. And since he is our friend, that also means that he literally is the best friend we could ever have. He loves us perfectly. Perfect love is actually what every one of us needs every day. We kind of hunger for it. I hope you hunger for perfect love. And we sometimes get that from our family or our friends, but at times we don't. And so we rely really on God to love us always perfectly. We also don't get perfect love from even our parents at times, but he is the perfect friend, but he is also kind of our perfect parent. We have a new song to teach you though today. It's called Friend Like You. And so let's join together and we'll sing this song to God again. I really hope you start to sing along, and once you catch on with the song, and it may take you a little while, but join in on this song called Friend Like You.
Jesus, you have been so faithful. Jesus, you have been so true. I will be forever thankful, 'cause I never had a friend like you. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love has always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. You with me in the darkest valley. You with me on the mountaintop. I'm thankful that you never leave me, and that your love will never stop. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love has always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life. Love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God.
guys. I'm so excited about this month's theme, and are you ready? You already heard me tell you, it's block party. Who do you have at a block party? You invite your friends, your family. Today's Bible story is called Better Together. 2 people are better than one. Life is always more fun with a friend. So here's a question for you. Why do you think friendship is so important? Our story today from the Bible is found in the book of Ecclesiastes. It's chapter 4, verses 9 through 12. And it has some wise words about friendship, which rolls right into what our monthly app is friendship, using your words and actions to show others that you care. Which rolls right back into our bottom line is choose your friends wisely. Who knew friendship had so many parts? So back to our story. A lot of people believe that Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon. Solomon was actually the son of someone you might have heard mentioned here before. We've talked about him. Is King David. When Solomon took over as king of Israel, God allowed Solomon to ask for anything that he might want. Can you guess what he asked God for? Amazingly, he asked God for wisdom. He knew that if he was going to be a good king, he needed to know how to, this is our basic truth, make the wise choice. So God gave Solomon the wisdom he asked for. And Solomon is known for being one of the wisest men who ever lived. So are you guys ready? Let's dive in and hear what King Solomon had to say about friendship. So listen up. You need to pay attention and prepare your heart, you guys, because you know what? God always has something special for each and every one of us to learn. You ready? Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Haley here, and I love parties. Don't you just love parties? I love all kinds of parties. Birthday parties. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday dear Haley. Happy birthday to me. And who doesn't love a good block party? Beanbag toss. Sorry. I could use some lessons. Which is why friendship is so important. Friendship is using your words and actions to show others you care. It's kind of hard to have a party without friends. And honestly, it's hard to even plan a party without friends. You need a tall friend to hang the lights. You need a friend who can bake. And if you got a friend who's giving beanbag toss lessons, tell them to give me a call. The point is, we need friends, and friends need us. And in today's story, we're gonna talk about what makes a friend a friend. That sounds like fun! It makes me wanna party!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 through 12.
The writer of Ecclesiastes tells us 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. Suppose either of them falls down, then the one can help the other one up. But suppose a person falls down and doesn't have anyone to help them up. Then feel sorry for that person. One person could be overpowered, but 2 people can stand up for themselves. And a rope made with 3 cords isn't easily broken. Let's see how this might play out in someone's life today. Jackson slid into the small school theater and took a seat in the back row and waited for Mr. Ray, the music and arts teacher. It looked like there was only one other kid who showed up to build the set for the 5th grade production of Charlotte's Web, Amal from Mrs. Wiseman's class. Hey.
Hi.
The 2 boys sat there in awkward silence until Mr. Ray showed up.
Ah, my set team. Fantastic. You guys know each other?
Kinda.
Different classes,
Well, you gotta get to spend a lot of time together in the next 2 weeks as we build this set and get it painted. You guys got any experience with power tools?
Jackson could see Amal shift nervously in his seat.
No, I don't want to go on stage. Miss Wiseman said I could do this instead.
Don't worry, I'll teach you what you need to know. How about you, Jackson?
I'm pretty good with a hammer, and I didn't want to wear some silly animal costume.
The two boys basically ignored each other as Mr. Ray showed them how to measure each piece of lumber for him to cut, and then he helped them lay out the pieces in a large frame.
Now, this'll be one of the wall flats for the backdrop. We'll paint it as part of the barn. Amal, you want to hammer in these nails?
I guess.
I'll hold it more like this. Don't worry, you'll get it.
I'll do this side.
Jackson nailed together the entire flat while Amal still struggled with one corner.
What a klutz.
But it was a different story the next day when they started to paint.
This flat is part of our barn wall. I want you guys to paint a couple of chickens right there.
Amal grabbed a brush right away.
Oh, do you want them to look like real chickens or like cartoons?
Nah, just give them your own personal spin.
Amal got to work right away, creating an entire palette of colors while Jackson was still trying to figure out which brush to pick.
Now, I've got to run down to the art room. Amal, why don't you show Jackson how to get started?
I don't really...
Mr. Ray smiled at them both.
He needs a hand. I think you guys will make a great team.
Mr. Ray hurried out. Jackson and Amal avoided each other's eyes.
Well, I'll sketch an outline for the chickens.
What do I do?
Just, fill it in.
I'm not really an artist.
Jackson dipped his brush randomly in the blue paint and frowned at Amal's outline.
Just have fun with it.
Jackson swiped the blue brush, outlining a wing.
I've never seen a blue chicken.
Oh.
It's great. It'll stand out.
Oh. Thanks.
By the time Mr. Ray returned, Jackson was surprised to discover that he and Amal had already painted 5 brilliant hued chickens. Mr. Ray grinned.
I've never seen a more flamboyant flock.
Jackson held out his fist to Amal, and Amal, surprised, gave him a fist bump.
Yep, see you boys tomorrow.
The next day, Amal showed up with a bruised finger on his left hand.
I can still paint with my right.
What happened?
Mr. Kunkel keeps putting me in as goalie during PE, and then I mess it up, and everyone on the team gets mad at me.
Do you stay on your toes? Keep your eye on the ball?
No. I just panic when the ball comes at me.
Look, I can show you some tips later in the parking lot, before my mom comes.
Really? That would be great.
And Jackson turned out to be a pretty good teacher because Amal managed to get 2 blocks during PE the next day. And when Jackson showed up to paint sets, stressed out by a math test, Amal grabbed his textbook.
Fractions?
I see all these weird numbers and I freeze up.
You just have to break it down like this.
With Amal's help, Jackson managed to stay calm during his test the next day. And by the middle of the next week, they had completed the entire backdrop for Charlotte's Web.
Well done. I knew you two would make a great team.
Amal's pretty okay.
Jackson's not too terrible.
Look, I know you guys are really different from each other, but it's boring if all your friends are just like you.
Together, they started gathering wood scraps and wiping off brushes.
Seriously, one of the wisest men to ever live pointed this out. Solomon.
Solomon?
Yep. He's this king in the Bible. He was a builder and an artist and super rich too. But for all the things he had, you know what he valued most? Friendship. He says it like this: 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do.
On point.
Yeah.
Amal held out his fist, and Jackson tapped it with his own. Maybe Solomon and Mr. Ray were onto something.
Okay, here are 4 things you can learn from those verses in the book of Ecclesiastes. Number 1, friends get more done when they work together, which makes a whole lot of sense. Planning a party goes a lot faster when I've got someone to help me out. Which brings me to number 2, friends help each other. A true friend doesn't just sit back and watch when it's obvious you need a hand. Little help here! Ah! Number 3, friends stand up for each other. You better not be messing with one of my friends. I will totally fight you! Unless, you're bigger than me, then I will not fight you. In which case, I will totally reprimand you with some carefully planned stern words. Just don't mess with my friends, okay? And number 4, friends help you trust God. You may have a lot of different friends in your life, but a true friend, one that lasts, is the kind that helps you make wise choices. The kind of friend you can talk to about what you believe honestly, and who can help your faith in Jesus grow. So, here's the one thing to remember today. Choose your friends carefully. I think you should try to be a friend to everybody, whether it's a friend you choose or not. But when you're deciding who to spend most of your time with, you should choose carefully. Ask yourself, is my friend helpful? Would they stand up for me? Do they help me trust God more? And while you're at it, ask yourself this, am I a helpful friend? Would I stand up for others and help people trust God more? When you want to find good friends, one of the best things you can do is to be a good friend. And never forget that Jesus is your ultimate friend. He is always there for you, no matter what. So, be on the lookout for good friends this week. When you choose wisely, you can't miss.
Boys and girls, it's time we call lunch at Chapel Hill Kids. This is the last part of our lesson where we realize together that learning this lesson has really just begun. We teach the lessons every week, but then we kind of live it out this next week and beyond. We're launching into learning this lesson all week long. So our bottom line we really want you to live out this week, say it with me, is choose your what carefully? Your friends carefully. It's really important that you choose your friends carefully, the ones that are your best friends. Like you can have friends that don't believe in God and make sure they know about God, but make sure your best friends, the ones you're closest to, are the ones that do believe in God. So choose them carefully. Some friends might really be good for us and help us to become more like Jesus, but some friends, on the other hand, might actually be kind of pulling us away from being like Jesus. That was true for me at your age, trust me. And so we can be a little bit like this animal called the chameleon. Do you know what is unique about the color of a chameleon? Well, their color changes according to their surroundings. If they're on a brown piece of paper, what color do they turn? Their skin turns brown. If they're on a red piece of paper, their skin actually turns red. What a fascinating animal that God made in them. But what I notice about people is that we don't change color, but sometimes we become like those that we're most around. You might not be around many friends right now because of the COVID thing, but you can still think about your friends and the ones you have that are your best friends. This week, try to think about how you can choose friends wisely. It doesn't mean you only have those friends that are Christians. It just means that you think about how can I be wise with the friends I choose. So we have a new Remember verse this month, and it really helps us on this whole theme of friendship. So say it with me. It's actually a really simple Remember verse this month. Say it with me. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Proverbs 17:17. How easy is that? And then don't forget that we always have a Remember verse challenge where you recite this month's verse while someone takes a video of you and you have your parents post it on the Facebook page, and we'll bring a prize to your home if you do that. Again, kids, remind your parents that they are your life group leaders or small group leaders in your homes. Remind them about the Parent Cue pages, those God Time pages. If you've been watching, you know this by heart. Parent Cue app, which they can get on their phone, and the extra activity pages. In closing, I want you to know, Miss Karen, Miss Pam, Mr. Paul, we love you very much. We've been having more and more kids coming back to our in-person worship at Chapel Hill Church, but We're happy to provide you with this lesson video if your family chooses to stay home still at this point. We also want you to know that we pray for you every week. We want you to keep well, but most important, keep following Jesus. And don't let your friends talk you out of doing that. He is our best friend and loves you more than anyone else ever could. Boys and girls, we do hope to see you again next week, but goodbye for now.